I know what you're thinking. My God, I cannot believe it is that big. How big exactly is that?
That's what she...
How do you even move with that?
That's what she said.
Today, we're going to answer all those questions for you. Hey guys, welcome to the Extreme Channel. My name is Mr. X. Welcome to possibly the culmination, or at least a break, in Sweeps Week. If you're unfamiliar with that, this week we've been unboxing statue after statue that either A, is a grail, or B, pretty damn close. We have some other pieces coming out later this upcoming week. Tomorrow we're going to switch it up. Mrs. X is going to make an appearance for you guys. But today we are going to focus on this massive 1/4 scale custom Thanos on throne. So 1/4 scale means they shrunk down this comic version of Thanos 4 times. This is a custom. It was a private unlicensed commission. I believe they made 60. It was either 50 or 60 of these. And I've been waiting a long time for him. I actually redid the scenery behind me. It is now all thrones. The space above me is where he is actually going to set. So you're going to be able to see him for future reviews to come. This is actually my 3rd Thanos on throne that I own. Why? Because Thanos is one of the quintessential villains. If you've watched the channel, you know that Thanos is an arch nemesis of one of my favorite characters. And specifically, this piece right here is actually from Thanos Quest, where he bouted my favorite character in multiple versions. I actually talked a little bit about this in a live stream with Mrs. X that you can check out right here. Now, we probably will end up doing an Extrumble or an Extreme Rumble with this Thanos on throne versus the one you can see right behind me, and then, of course, sideshows, but it'll probably be a few months away, simply for the fact that moving these is not the easiest task in the world. But if you want to check out some detailed stuff, check out the review of this Thanos right here. I do an in-depth review of him and cover everything we're going to cover today in this piece. And then, of course, I've looked at Sideshow's Thanos on throne that you can check out right here. Extremely excited to have this piece, so we're going to dive right into the review. But before we do, we are actually probably within a couple days of our 15,000 sub giveaway. Check it out right here. We are going to hit 20,000 subscribers in 2020. To do that, we're giving away a statue every 2,500 subs. At 15,000 subs, the winner will get to choose between these 2 PCS Mortal Kombat statues. Make sure that you've liked this video, you've subscribed to the channel, and you've hit that bell notification. Then stay tuned towards the end of this video to find out how to enter. Alright, so this guy, not only does he have massive size, but he has tons of display options. And like I said, I really like this because this is the true comic version from kind of the Thanos Quest comics, where he's kind of roaming around doing stuff for Lady Death, going after Silver Surfer, Drax the Destroyer, Adam Warlock, all these different cosmic beings. Let's look at this concept and see if it does match that source material, if it offers some cool things, and just kind of a spoiler, it does. But take a look. So what they did here is pretty unique because his throne that he's sitting in is actually a floating spaceship. So to make it float here, they created this bottom base part, and it is a bunch of skulls, which Thanos, you know, he's courting Lady Death. Thanos is about death, so that's kind of the tie there. This could be a planet, this could be a moon, this could be an asteroid. Obviously, they couldn't make the throne levitate in air by itself, so I think they did a good job. We'll talk more about it in design. And then you move up, you see his throne slash spaceship. So what he does is he just rides through the universe in this throne. He has this throne that he kind of takes everywhere, and this is direct from the comics. There's a few differences, although it is actually pretty damn accurate. I know the art director is a comic nut on this. Fantastic guy who actually helped me, I'll tell you, in design. And Thanos is sitting on top. He's leaning forward. He has a number of different portrait displays, a number of different hand switch out options, but all of them revolve around the fact of him having the Infinity Gauntlet. Because that's what happened in Thanos Quest in the Infinity Gauntlet saga, is where he was actually going around collecting the gems. That's right, they were gems, not stones in the actual comics. MCU changed it a little bit, but nonetheless, Thanos had the same goal, and here he is very proud because he has collected them all. And like I said, you can display them a few different ways. And he is all-powerful. With the Infinity Gauntlet, Thanos is arguably one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful being to have ever lived in the Marvel Universe, while he contains all the gems at least. And just very smug. I love it. It's like taking a picture directly from the comic, doing a few modern twists on it, and then putting it in 3D real life in front of me. And obviously this is huge too. I think the size ties into the concept as well. It may be a negative with some design stuff we'll talk about, but I love it. I'm a big fan of this. It's different than my other Thanos on Thrones, and I have such ties to the comics it comes from. It's a 5 out of 5 on the concept for me without a doubt. All right, so with design, tons of stuff going on. First of all, let's measure it. And as I said, the art director, I actually messaged him and woke him up, so he got out of bed to measure it for me because he has the prototype. So big thanks to him, such a great guy. It's 34 inches wide. The base itself is a little bit less. It's about 28 inches because I was planning on redoing the display behind me, as you guys have probably seen in the recent weeks. About 18 inches deep. And then the tallest point with the planetary base, you can display it without that. I'm not going to try to, is about 30.5 inches or so. And if you got rid of the planetary base, you're probably saving about 5.5 inches. And despite what she says, 5.5 inches is a lot. While this is a massive piece, other than the sheer size and weight of it, assembly wasn't that hard. Two massive, massive boxes that actually arrived 5 days apart because UPS is that incredibly intelligent. I had to threaten them to get them to deliver that last one. Very cool art box on both. I'm not an art box guy, but both in the custom black foam with the straps. Here is the first layer. It's really only kind of one layer mixed together, and then here the layer below it. And then the second box, here is the layer for that. And you saw Mrs. X there. And again, stay tuned because tomorrow Mrs. X does another review on her own. Now let's look at all the different display options here. First is my favorite portrait. I kind of call this the smug portrait. It's kind of, I always remember this expression in the comic books. And then here's kind of a closed mouth, maybe more of a stoic, and he's thinking, but he's still a little pissed off. He's got a little curl in his lip. And here's one where he's a little bit more pissed. He's showing his teeth. He's pretty fierce. Now this does have a light up feature. Now, I don't have the right batteries, but I got some other batteries in there, and I don't know if the light-up feature is that poor or the batteries are that poor, but you can't really see it very well. Now, his left hand actually has 5 different display options. So first is the one I probably like the most because it's different. So he's wearing the gauntlet, but the gems aren't in it. They're floating in this clear resin sphere. Now, all the hands have a light-up feature. Here is the light-up feature for this. Blinding, isn't it? Again, I don't know if it's the batteries or it's just a poor light-up feature. Here's a picture of the light. And I don't plan to use those. Or he can be wearing the Infinity Gauntlet and the gems and snapping. Pretty cool. Or he can kind of be showing them off with a fist. Or showing them off with his hand open. And again, all of these have light-up features. They're not very bright. And lastly, it's a modernized Infinity Gauntlet. Maybe more ties to the MCU, which I don't prefer. Now, those light-up features weren't the best. They're all batteries, so technically you need like 15, actually more than that. You need 17, 18 batteries of the small watch batteries. But the base does have a light-up feature with an AC adapter. Here it is right here. So it's not that bright once again. I don't think I'm going to hook it up, but it's nice that they offered that. So I want to talk about size on this piece. Is it too big to display? For a lot of collectors, obviously it is. So did they need to make it this big? So I actually took his body and I put it up next to the other Thanos's. He's about the same size, so I think the scale's correct. And I think if they went smaller on the size here, they would not have the true comic accurate concept from his space chair. So I appreciate that they did that. So I don't want to knock them that it's such a big piece, although sometimes I think that is a negative. And it is still a negative, but I think that if you're going all out, this is one of the most prestigious and iconic villains in the comics and now in the movies. So having this much room, especially for a throne display, isn't necessarily a bad thing. The light-up features are a nice option, despite the fact they don't work very well. But again, I'm not a light-up feature guy. I think the design's a 4 out of 5. It's not absolutely perfect, but it's done pretty damn well. Paint and sculpt. All right, I'm going to let you know. The sub base down here is phenomenal. Thanos is phenomenal. The chair, but let's take a look. So here's some pictures of the rock part of it. Looks great. I like the shading. I like the texture. Again, it reminds me of a planet or an asteroid, and then you see the skulls on it. The skulls are done extremely well. Graveyard of skulls kind of everywhere. You assume these are humans. They're a little bit smaller than Thanos or humanoid pieces. And then this middle blue part, I'm trying to get some good pictures here for you guys. This is what makes it look like it's levitating. Maybe this is power coming from, maybe this is a levitation feature coming off the bottom of his chair here, or it's an asteroid. Here's some different shots of the throne. So the paint job seems kind of uneven, and this is a weird, it's almost like it's a mix between like a silver and a chrome. Paint's not very clean either. And I don't know if that's intentional, because technically this is a chair that flies through space, but there's definitely some areas here that it just doesn't look good. It looks extremely sloppy. Most of it is on the sides where you're not going to see when you look at it. And of course, you look at this huge, magnificent statue. You're not drawn to these areas that I'm showing you these pictures of right here. But I definitely think that some of it was a little bit sloppy. First, let's look at Thanos' boots and gloves because they're very similar. So really bunched up. They have this really dark black shading in with that yellow. They're cracked, worn. Obviously, he doesn't go shopping for new clothes every single week. And, the gauntlets, the gloves you're looking at, this is what it looked like in the comic. It wasn't this metallic thing that Josh Brolin was holding. I think it looks fantastic. His suit looks great. There's a mix of different textures. There's a honeycomb pattern. There's a line pattern. The anatomy looks good. The suit's not super tight, so there's still some folds, and obviously you see those big seam lines. I mean, nothing really new for Thanos. I think they got the body style right as well. It looks really, really good. And the gold parts of Thanos complement it really well on the suit. Different shading in there. And take a look at his huge gold collar. This looks great. And they use kind of a different, almost like a bronze gold on this. So the different portraits, they're all very similar, but they look fantastic. Very clean paint. I like the purple color they chose. It's a little bit lighter purple. The gloss on his teeth is fantastic. His helmet is done really well. Classic Thanos. So really, really nice job on a lot of this. So first let's grade the paint. Paint on the chair is really bad. I would almost give the chair a 2, but everything else I would give probably a 4. So I think ignoring all this crap on the chair here, I think I'm going to still give the paint a 4 with the disclaimer that the chair really had some missed opportunity. Sculpt on him, I think, is fantastic. Again, the chair is good, not amazing, but this part of the base, Thanos himself, really, really good. The sculpt, a 4 out of 5 as well, almost a 5 out of 5, honestly. Let's talk about value on this piece, like I said. So they made, I think it was 60 of these they made. It was either 50 or 60. They retailed for $1,500, and then shipping, economy shipping, was $700 or $800. So you're $2,300, $2,400 all in for this massive piece. But if you think about it, you think about like a licensed piece like XM Studios Hulkbuster, this is about the same size. There are other Thanos on Throne options out there. There is Sideshow, which still goes for quite a bit as well. The 2 huge boxes almost makes this prohibitive from shipping again. I don't think the value is great on this because you have Sideshow Thanos on Throne and it's done so well. It takes up less room, it's licensed, it's half the price. But it's not a true comic purist version, which this one is. Now, Bowen also made a piece very similar to this, which made some controversy saying this piece was copied from that. So I don't think I could sell this and get my money back tomorrow. If I was patient and I waited years, I could. So I think the value on this is pretty tough. Realistically, I'd have to find someone who wants to pay $2,500 for this and then pray nothing breaks in shipping. Actually, probably closer to $2,600, $2,700. So I think the value, and especially since the display space it takes up, you have a smaller buyer pool. I think it's probably a 2 out of 5 on the value. Now, that doesn't mean this is a bad statue. In fact, I think quite the opposite. Is this an X statue? I think it is an X statue. This is a 5 out of 5 statue. It is incredible. It takes the Thanos from the comics and brings him to life. This levitation type feature, his classic chair, so many cool switch outs. I love this piece. I don't care that I think the value is low because I have zero intention of selling him ever, honestly. I'm going to keep this guy around for a long, long time, and he is really impressive overall. The art direction, like I said, minus the chair, the paint and sculpt is fabulous. Big congratulations to anybody who got this. I think anyone who got this was really lucky. So price aside, do you think this beats Sideshow? Put that in the comments below. And I ask you to comment because when we get to that 15,000 subs in the next few days here, this may be the video we choose. To win one of these Mortal Kombat statues, all you have to do is comment on a video. At 15,000 subscribers, I'm going to pick a random video and pick a random comment. That person will win the prize. They can choose between these two pieces. Also, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure, guys, if you liked Sweeps Week or you haven't seen it, go back and check. But amazing statue after amazing statue. There is more coming in the upcoming weeks. I actually have 2 more that'll drop later this week. So please hit that Mr. X logo to subscribe. Please hit that bell notification and check out some of these other custom pieces. Talk to you tomorrow. Take care.